As we do this time every Friday, we check in with KTBB owner, general manager, and generally pretty good golf caddy, Paul Gleiser, with you. Tell me what's on your mind, sir.
Good morning, Garth. We are sponsored by K.E. Cellars, Tyler's Old World Style Boutique Winery in the French Quarter on South Broadway, across from the mall. On Tuesday morning of this week, the top folks at Trinity Mother Frances Health System in Tyler hosted a breakfast for the purpose of making a big announcement. Mr. and Mrs. Lewis Owen have made a cash gift to Trinity Mother Frances of $18 million for the purpose of building a 7-story freestanding heart hospital that will be named in their honor. As I sat there listening to the presentation and looking at the artist's rendering of the facility, slated for completion in 2012, I couldn't help thinking that people like Lewis and Peaches Owen are among the very people that President Obama believes are not paying their fair share, as he calls it, of the tax burden. Never mind that if you've reached the place in life that you can give away $18 million, you have already paid more in taxes than the average American family will make in multiple lifetimes. Lewis Owen is a rather soft-spoken man, and I couldn't help getting the impression Tuesday morning that he was rather embarrassed by it all. In his brief remarks, he told us how he and a group of 15 or 20 people had started Petrofac in Tyler in 1981. That company grew to over 11,000 employees worldwide, and those that were there to get it off the ground profited handsomely. In other words, Lewis Owen is an American success story. And for that reason alone, he is among those upon whose backs Obama and his fellow travelers on the left have painted an enormous bullseye. It is a uniquely American virtue that upon coming into substantial wealth, one of the first things that happens is that he or she who made the money will start looking for ways to give it away. There are no Carnegie Halls in Europe, no M.D. Anderson Cancer Centers, no Vanderbilt universities. Traipse the length and breadth of Asia, and you will never find an analog to Dallas's Morton H. Meyerson Symphony Center or New York's Guggenheim Museum. American generosity stands alone in the world. After paying the lion's share of the tax burden of the largest economy on earth, the typical successful American will then take a substantial portion of what's left and look for ways to voluntarily give it away for the common good. And while I'm certain that there are generous Germans and philanthropic Japanese and even magnanimous Frenchmen, generosity on an industrial scale is a purely American phenomenon. It happens nowhere else on earth. So here is the question. Does anyone seriously believe that if the federal government had taken the Owens $18 million in the form of additional taxes, had filtered that money through the massive, inefficient, and unaccountable federal bureaucracy before transferring it to some unnamed, uncountable, and unknowable recipients, that more good would have come of it than the creation of a state-of-the-art hospital in a growing community dedicated to healing human hearts? Does anyone believe that the federal government can do more good with $18 million in money confiscated from successful Americans than Lewis and Peaches Owen are doing out of their own free will and generosity? Does anyone believe that? Anyone? That's my word. What's yours? Go to ktbb.com/youtellme, and you tell me. Let's go on a flight. For this flight, you won't have to go to the airport and pay to park. You won't have to go through security. And you won't have to sit in a cramped seat with no legroom. For this flight, all you need is your good taste and a visit to K.E. Cellars. Tell them I sent you and that you want to try a 3-wine tasting flight of Keeper Sol Estate's 3 newest reds, the Keeper Sol Estate's 2007 Merlot, the Keeper Sol Estate's 2007 Shiraz, and the Keeper Sol Estate's 2007 Cabernet Sauvignon. All 3 of these reds go great with the cooler weather we are enjoying in this wonderful October. That's doing a great job of compensating for the blistering summer. When you taste these 3 wines in a flight, you pick up on the subtle differences in the grapes and you zero in on the one or ones that best suit you. This is all possible because K.E. Cellars is a working winery with a tasting bar. Try any wine in the collection before you buy it. You simply cannot make a mistake. K.E. Cellars, Tyler's Old World Style Boutique Winery in the French Quarter on South Broadway across from the mall, and online at kecellars.com.